They say rock bottom changes a man. But for me, rock bottom spoke. It whispered through a rusty old briefcase, locked tight, sitting in a corner of the storage unit I called home. When I opened it, I found $60,000 in cash and a note with my name on it. "This is just travel money," it said. "The real fortune is waiting at these coordinates." I didn't know it then, but that briefcase wasn't a blessing. It was the beginning of a revenge story that had been waiting years to unfold, and I was the final piece. My name is Daniel Cole. I used to believe that if you worked hard, life would be fair. I was 38, an assistant manager at a construction firm in Austin, Texas. I wasn't rich, but I had enough. A loving wife named Megan, 2 kids who ran into my arms every night, and a future that felt steady. Then Ethan Miles entered our lives. My new regional boss. A man who had everything I didn't. Confidence, power, the kind of smile that made people forget who they were. He didn't just run meetings, he ran people. And soon, he started running my life too. It started small. Late-night calls with my wife. Work dinners, she said, were just business. New perfume, new dresses, new secrets. I ignored it for months. Because when you love someone, you convince yourself the lies are misunderstandings. But the day I found her bracelet on Ethan's desk, all those excuses died. That night, I confronted her. She didn't even cry. She just said, "Daniel, I'm tired of struggling. Ethan gives me what you never could, security." Within a month, Ethan fired me. "Performance issues," he said, as if destroying my life was a formality. The mortgage followed. Then the house. Then custody. She got the kids, the car, everything. And when it was all over, she sent me a text that burned into my chest. "You'll die poor and alone." I packed what I could into my pickup truck and drove away with nothing but anger. I rented a storage unit on the edge of town, cheap, cold, and quiet. That's where I slept, ate canned food, and tried not to remember who I used to be. Then one night, I noticed something buried behind the boxes. A black briefcase covered in dust with a metal tag that read, "Property of Daniel Cole." My name, but I'd never seen it before. My hands trembled as I opened it. Inside were neat stacks of $100 bills, 60,000 in total, and a folded note. "This is just travel money. The real fortune is waiting at these coordinates." Below it were numbers leading somewhere in northern New Mexico. Was it a prank? A trap? I didn't care. When you've already lost everything, danger stops scaring you. I packed the money, filled my tank, and drove west. The road stretched for hours through nothing but desert. By the time I reached the coordinates, the sun was bleeding over the horizon. The place was a ghost town. Broken shacks, empty wells, sand swallowing what used to be life. In the distance, I saw a cabin. Its windows were dark, but one light flickered inside, like it had been waiting for me. The door creaked open. Inside were photographs, hundreds, taped to the walls. Pictures of me, my wedding, my kids, even one from my job site years ago. Someone had been watching me for a long time. On the dusty table sat a manila envelope with my name on it. Inside was a flash drive and another note. "Press play. Then decide if you still want revenge." I plugged it into my laptop. The screen came alive with footage of Ethan sitting in his office beside another man in a suit. Papers on the desk, contracts being signed, numbers moving across screens. Then Megan appeared, laughing, kissing him. But what they were discussing wasn't love, it was money. Offshore accounts, fake signatures, and every document had one name buried in it. Mine, Daniel Cole. They'd used me as a scapegoat, funneling millions through fake construction bids that all pointed back to me. If the fraud was ever exposed, I'd take the fall. At the end of the video, A voice spoke behind the camera. "If you're watching this, Daniel, it means they finally ruined you. My name's Lucas. I worked for Ethan once. He destroyed me too. That money you found is part of what he stole. The coordinates lead to everything you need to take him down. Don't waste it." I froze. Lucas. I remembered him. He'd disappeared 3 years ago after accidentally crashing his car into a ravine. Only now did I realize he hadn't run. He'd been silenced. But before he died, he left a trail, and I was meant to follow it. For the first time in months, I felt something other than pain. Purpose. I started studying the files on that drive. Transactions, offshore accounts, fake companies, all built under Ethan's command. He'd used dozens of men like me, good workers, easy to blame. The deeper I dug, the angrier I got. But revenge isn't rage. Revenge is patience. So I vanished. New clothes, burned phone, cash only. I became invisible, a ghost haunting the edges of Ethan Miles's empire. Weeks turned into months. I watched from afar as he built a mansion, threw charity galas, smiled for cameras. Megan was always by his side, glittering in diamonds paid for with stolen money. Then I sent her a letter. No threats, no insults, just temptation. "You were right," I wrote. "You chose the winning side, but I've found something bigger than money. Meet me, alone." I knew she would come. Greed was always her weakness. She showed up in a white Mercedes, sunglasses and perfume thick enough to choke the air. "Daniel," she said, smirking, "you look worse than I imagined." I handed her a flash drive. "That's Ethan's entire empire," I told her. "Offshore accounts, transfers, fake names, everything. Give it to him, I don't care anymore." Her eyes lit up. "Why would you give me this?" she asked. "Because I'm done fighting," I said. "Let him bury it." She believed me. She always underestimated me. That night, I followed her to Ethan's mansion, parking a few blocks away. Through the window, I saw him take the flash drive, smiling that same smug smile. He poured her wine, sat at his desk, and plugged it into his computer. What he didn't know was that the drive wasn't full of data. It was a worm, a custom-built piece of code designed to upload everything on his servers directly to the FBI's Financial Crimes Division. Within seconds, his entire empire unraveled. Every hidden account, every offshore link, every piece of evidence Lucas had collected was exposed in real time. The mansion lights flickered. Megan panicked. Ethan shouted her name. And then the sirens came. I watched from the darkness as the FBI stormed through the gates. Ethan was dragged out in handcuffs, still cursing, still thinking he could buy his way out. Megan ran toward her car, screaming, trying to start the engine. But she didn't know that the briefcase she'd brought from my storage unit, the one she thought was full of leftover cash, was rigged with a tracker and a small ignition device. When she turned the key, the car erupted in flames. I didn't kill her. Greed did. The news hit every channel by morning. Ethan Miles, corporate giant, arrested for multi-million-dollar fraud. One associate dead. No one mentioned my name. They never will. I left the state that night, driving north until the sky turned gray and the air smelled like rain. I found a small town on the Oregon coast and rented a cabin overlooking the ocean. That's where I live now. No mansion, no spotlight, just peace. Every morning I walk along the beach and think about the man I used to be, the one who believed love was forever, the one who thought justice came on its own. He's gone now. What's left of me is quieter, colder, but free. Sometimes when I think of my kids, I write them letters I'll never send. In one of them, I wrote, "Sometimes the only way to find the truth is to lose everything first." I keep that note pinned above my bed, next to an old photo of me holding them when they were small. They'll never know what I did or why. Maybe that's for the best. Some stories are better buried, just like that briefcase. People say revenge doesn't heal. Maybe they're right. It doesn't bring back what you lost, and it doesn't erase the pain. But it does one thing. It closes the circle. And for me, that's enough. Because they told me I'd die poor and alone, but they forgot something. You can't kill a man who's already lost everything. You can only make him dangerous. And Daniel Cole was finally free.